BIM is the opportunity to, as I said, use digital data to drive a new process. So BIM is actually a way of working as opposed to a thing. So BIM is not a piece of software. The software is the tools that enable the process to occur. I think it just creates confusion because the software companies have done such a good job selling the software as the process. So people think they are doing BIM when they're using the software and not realizing that it's really a new way for the industry to work, to rely on data as opposed to paper. It's an opportunity to enable us to take process from the manufacturing industry and to create a digital prototype of the building and to test that prototype for form, fit and function before we actually get on site and actually start building it and realizing it doesn't fit, it doesn't work, so that the pieces don't go together. So it actually lets us test it before we build it and to work out the most effective sequence to actually put the pieces together in. It works most effectively when the owner states it as a requirement in the RFP that this is what they need and this is what their expectation is from the process, and then everybody who partakes understands the rules at the beginning. So it needs to be driven by the people that want the building and who are reaping the bigger benefits. Otherwise it becomes what we think of as selfish BIM, which is where you're doing it because the gain is to you as an organisation as opposed to the bigger groups that play in the process. They need to start asking the design side to share the models that the design side have and to get at the data, to use free pieces of software initially, and then to start purchasing their own bits of software which are designed specifically for estimating or for scheduling or for actually running, a construction site, tracking the paper that is currently generated and enabling that to happen digitally as opposed to as a paper flow. So there's a lot of ways they can start getting involved by just starting to ask for that information. Canada is unfortunately lagging way behind now. Canada needs to, at a government level, start mandating a BIM requirement at a point in time in the future so that industry understands the change is happening and then people will get on board and start moving it. We see a lot of firms saying we'll do this new process when the owner asks for it, and the owners don't know how to ask for what it is. They're just beginning to hear about BIM, whereas in the UK, for example, they mandated it in 2010 that in 2016 it was going to be required on all government projects, and the industry got involved. The industry realised this was happening, so we'd better work out how we're going to do it, how we're going to work together, what standards do we need in place, and just got on and did the job because they'd been told that was it, so they did it. They're huge. They're absolutely enormous because the waste in the industry is so incredible. People talk about 30% is sort of wasted money because of rework or built incorrectly, has to be redone, the pieces don't fit, the buildings are late. It's the owner that bears the cost of the change orders, and change orders can be upwards of 10% on a project. So let's get rid of the change orders. If we can solve the issues when they're digital, then it doesn't cost us the money. It's very difficult to change when it's built incorrectly.